Alright, let's continue with our programming videos. In the last video, I went through and described how we can make the update button of our form work. And what this does is it takes the information character sheet and updates it with whatever information we type in. So when we hit the update sheet, it goes over. So we got that working last time. So this time, we're going to move on to the it would make, I almost want to do the last sheet, but we only have one sheet. So before we go backwards, we need to add more sheets. So we're now going to create the function for the add sheet. So I'm just going to, I can minimize all the things we're not really using. So I'm just going to open up this add sheet. So right now this is pretty empty. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to add a sheet to our current list of character sheets. And the way we're going to do this is it's going to add a sheet to the end of the list. So we're going to add a new player sheet, right? I guess I'll say a character sheet to the end of the player list, right? So that should be pretty easy to do. And fortunately, there's a very easy function which we've seen before, and it's just add. So we can do this by just saying player list.add. And then we just have to put in a new character sheet, and we'll just give it an empty one. But what we're going to want to do at this point is we've added a new character sheet, but we're going to want to change the current character sheet being displayed so it's the new one. And there's kind of a trick for this. If you remember, if we take our current sheet, and if we say our current sheet is equal to, why am I putting this here? So we're adding the sheet, and we want to say that the current sheet is equal to the player list count, right? This will give us how many things are in the player list. But you might also remember when we only have one element, when we only have one thing in the player list, we use the index 0 to reference it. So if this count is 1, this character sheet needs to be 0. If this count is 2, the character sheet needs to be 1. So whatever the count is, this needs to be 1 less. So we can fix that by doing -1. Oops, sorry, that should be before. -1 is one way to fix it. Or another way we can make it is if we don't want the -1, we can put this before it is added. So before we add the sheet, the player list count is going to be the actual number we want. I'm going to show you a quick way we can search. I'm going to use the M box, something I used in the first one, and I am just going to say count and I'm going to do this before and after. Oops. I'm going to do this before and after we add the new character sheet, just to sort of see how this works. So let's run this video. I'm just going to add a sheet. First thing it's going to do is it's going to say the count is 1 because we haven't added anything yet. We have one character sheet in our list. Then I'm going to click OK. And then it says the count is 2 because we've now added a second one. So we now have 2 things in our list. And then when I click OK, it will update everything. So the character sheet we want to display is the last character sheet. And because of that, we can basically say the current sheet is equal to player list.count. And if I put this before I add a new element, this is actually going to be the correct number to display the current sheet, the new sheet. So what this means is when we run our program, there's currently one sheet in here, right? And I'm going to update the sheet. I'm going to call it AA1. So the first sheet has elements AA1. When I click Add Sheet, it's going to add a second sheet. But before it adds a second sheet, it's going to take the number 1 and assign that to the index. So we can now see it change to sheet 2. We go B, B, 2. We can update, but when we add, it goes to something. Now I want to go back and look at previous sheets, but we can't really do that. But this is pretty much working exactly the way we want. We're able to add new character sheets. And I guess this video is really about writing these 3 lines of code. We get the count for what the new character sheet will be. We add a new character sheet, and then we display it. And that's about it for this Add Sheet button. It just adds a new sheet to the list and then displays it. So I think I'm just going to stop here for this video and keep it short. And then we'll move on to the next video and see how quickly we get through those. All right.